Good night, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome again to the EB Show. As you know, the EB Show is hosted each week, every Thursday between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on i95.5. I am your host, Ramkumar Narinesingh.
And I'm Umar, Abdullah.
And we are here again hosting this media platform, which is here to provide you with information related to matters of your social interests. In tonight's program, we have with us a world-renowned guest. It's Professor Dr. Peter Baofu. You want to say good night, Doctor?
Yeah, good evening.
The Professor Doctor, he's world-renowned. He has a number of accolades to his name. Umar, you want to share with us tonight?
Yes, this guest that we have here tonight, he's a world-renowned American author and visionary. He has written over 160 books. He speaks about 10 languages. He had visited over 110 countries. He has a U.S. Fulbright. He is a U.S. Fulbright scholar in China. He has taught as a professor in a number of universities in Western Europe, the Caucasus, the Middle East, South Asia, North America, and South Asia. So, this is just scratching the surface as regards to the profile of this individual. And we thought it best to bring him in here tonight to discuss some matters that is affecting us here nationally. Professor Peter Baofu. Now, not a lot of people you find you hear with that handle to their name, Doctor Professor. Workers do not prepare themselves for the aftermath of being laid off or moving from one job to another, etc., etc. And there's not enough training. There's not enough. There's no evidence of preparing workers for any eventuality in this country.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that companies, I don't know what is your thoughts on this, Dr. Professor. What role do you think the companies themselves, do you think that, just a mere change of policy would address this issue, or does it go deeper than that?
Another thing that I also learned in my experiences, it also depends on the development status of a country too. Nowadays in the U.S. And also in some other countries, let's say in Scandinavia, people are talking about the universal income. Say that each person, each family should receive some kind of basic income. It doesn't matter whether you are unemployed or not. Now, the reason they are able to talk about this or propose this or can afford to do that is because they are much more developed. They have money, those government, those countries. I hope that one day Trinidad might be able to join their club and talk about universal income too. But unfortunately, the development status of Trinidad is not yet on that point. But there's some solution about that. Unemployment benefits can be another. But again, I think that we spend too much time talking about what the workers suffer or enjoy, but we don't look into some other issues which the workers have to do. See, anything that, in philosophy, in political philosophy, people talk about human rights. You have the right. But remember, every right that you have, you also have an obligation.
Yes.
If you don't do your obligation, you
Rights
don't have the right. So
yes.
You cannot tell people, say, oh, I have the right, I'm unemployed now, you have to do this and this and this for me. But how about you? What have you done so far to deserve that other business, or government, civil society have to give you all of this? What have you done to deserve that? What is your duty?
But Doctor,
corruption is everywhere on earth. It doesn't matter, it's in America, in Germany, in Japan, in China, Scandinavia. Some of these countries now have universal income, but some of them take advantage of that. They do not work anymore. Now they have the income, they don't do work. That's true.
Right.
That's true. Some people are like that.
Right.
But some of them, not all of them, some other, on the other hand, use the income to invest, to start a new business, which they could not have before. So do not exaggerate again. See, there are two sides of the conversation.
Right.
This kind of conversation It may be provocative for media, but I think that it's
So in other words-
destructive. You have to look at both sides of that.
So in other words, what you're saying, there's always going to be that element
Exactly.
that is going to do these
So
negative.
there's no such a thing as a perfect society. There's no such a thing. Okay, forget about the illusion, the ideal that, oh, we should create a society in which workers never have their job lost, and they should have all the income to buy whatever they like. They should not have any problem. If they have a problem, you cry like a baby and say, oh, there's a problem. I think there's an illusion. We are not perfect. We don't have paradise here. This will continue even 100 millions from now. You still have people who are unemployed, do and this. They cannot earn this and this. Poverty is relative. Many million years ago, when people were poor simply mean they did not have a stone. In the Stone Age, if you don't have a stone to kill an animal, you don't have the weapon, you may be called a poor person. A rich person at the time, maybe he have 5 stones. You understand me? A relative. But nowadays, we don't care about those stones. Who care about those stones? We don't measure about how many stones that you have. But rather, we want to know how many cars or houses or whatever else that you have. Why? Because poverty is relative historically. And therefore, you always have people. Even 1,000 years from now, they are poor. They cannot find a job and all that. But that's not the point that we are making. We try to improve life. Life improvement is relative, and you can never get perfection.
Dr. Right, listeners, we want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight with us. As you know, this conversation continues next week, Thursday.